Welcome back to the Halftime Report with Pudge. I'm sorry, I couldn't go high pitch. I still got Chipotle in my throat over here. Anyway, man, that's a good plate. I swear to God, everybody needs to come over to Bubba's and order the Chipotle shrimp and chicken pasta. Oh, my God. That's about as close to orgasmic as you're going to get eating food. You know, I've seen people where they take pictures and like the little name of it is food porn, right? And, you know, they'll show you the meal that they're eating, and like, oh, my God, this is great. No. This right here will cause you to look at your wife and go, you know, I'm good. No, nothing really needs to happen tonight. We're good, we're solid. Just give me this the rest of my life, and I will keep my hands off you forever. This pasta right here. Yeah, it'll save a marriage. Anyway, we're broadcasting from, right now there's a whole bunch of people going, honey, we're eating at Bubba's tonight. Well, that's the idea. You know, only professionals know how to get married 3 times, you know, and live to see it.
The marrying them is easy. It's the keep hanging on to them.
It's the sustaining them that you're just like, man.
Tell you what, man, you look good, though. I saw you when you were not feeling all that well recently.
And I put out, man. So that's double the fun, double the pleasure, double the fun.
When's the show over?
It's over at 6.
You know me and hobos.
Yeah, well, I know you love you a hobo, that's for sure. I gotta find out later. What the hell, dude? You're a sick man. You really are, and you need help. You need help.
No, I don't. I'm happier than ever.
Yeah, I know. You have fun, don't you? Have you always been a provocateur? Have you always been the guy that pokes the tiger in the eye?
Kind of, but
as a young fellow, were you that guy? Yeah.
It just
comes natural to you.
I don't know, just.
Because, I mean, there are times when I'll see you post something.
The thing is, we're friends, so you
I
could
know,
go,
right.
I know this guy, I don't know what he's doing.
I go to Sandra and I go, look what he did now, as I'm holding the phone to her. And she'll look, and she'll just shake her head. She goes, that's amongst you men. I don't even want to get involved. And I'm like, no, I'm a man, and I don't even know where he's going with this or where that came from.
He's throwing a prostitute off her bridge.
Oh, my. Really?
I listen to too much Norm MacDonald.
Are those the jokes you told when you went up on stage? No wonder you got to warm a crowd up before you start going there,
dude.
Yeah, you do.
My threat.
Man, that's way beyond pulling a Band-Aid off, man.
All right, we got one shot at all this, and I'm going to have my fun.
You are having your fun. Kids, I'm talking with Trey Clark. Man, this guy is a renaissance man. He is a musician, Texas musician. For how many years, man, you've been doing that?
Like 25 years.
25 years.
Like
and you've toured every. Okay.
Then do that to someone.
Okay. Then you train dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah. And you do a damn good job of it too.
It's fun, man. Yeah. I had that moment where I was going. I can't because I did restaurants and I was like, I can't do that till in my 80s. I can't.
Yeah. How long did you work in restaurants, man?
I started out in restaurants when I was in college. Then I went to U of H. And
you were in charge of what, the Galleria?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, the Galleria Tennis Athletic Club on top of there. But even still, I knew there was a shelf life on it. I was like, I can't do this. I'm, in my early 40s. I can't be doing this when I'm 75. So what am I going to do? And then I just thought, I just put my head down and said, I want to train dogs, man. And I did. And I started volunteering. And then it's been
it's turned
awesome.
into you've been I've been watching you and you do a great job of scaring the hell out of these dogs, and then they learn how to behave, The Sam Kinison School of Dog Training over here.
No.
So, I'm kidding. Exactly. So musician, dog trainer, provocateur, and then you fed me a line that I want you to say it again, but I would put you under the category of a hardcore conspiracy theorist, but you just fed me a line that I was like, wow, I never heard it put that way, and that was?
I want to weed out the lies.
You just look, you're able to spot a liar.
Right.
Okay, but here, okay. So you and I are friends. We've gotten to know each other over the years. I guess now we're years.
Yeah.
And so I've listened, because that's what I am. I'm a listener. I listen to people. I give them that room to be able to share. So that, because I want to learn. I'm a constant student of life. So when we first met and we were bending the elbow over there at the post and having a grand old time, and then I overheard you and McClovio get into a conversation in that McClovio's got a little bit of conspiracy theorist in him, but nowhere near your level. So, but let me just pick one. Can I just pick one? Mm-hmm. And since we are under the umbrella of sport, all right, we have a couple of athletes that have gone out publicly stated, like Kyrie Irving, that have said the Earth is flat. Now, dumb it down for me, okay? Because I am not. I've read some of your stuff, and it's like way over my head. Because you've actually gone to conferences, you've spoken with people that are experts in this idea that Earth is flat. So, dumbing it down for idiot boy right here sitting next to you. Give me a bullet point or two that causes me to, if not convincing me, I don't think you're going to convince me overnight, but at least causes me for reflection to go, I never thought of that.
You know where Ingleside is, right?
Yeah.
You know how far away it is from Ocean Drive, roughly?
Okay.
About 34 miles.
34 miles from Ocean Drive to Ingleside. Gotcha.
So I can take you out there with my camera, my Nikon P900, get on my elbows, and zoom in on the hulls of boats on the other side, which should be about 16 to 18 feet down.
Because the Earth is curved.
Right. You should not be able to see over the...
It's like a football field. A football field is actually pitched in that the sidelines are lower than the crown of the middle of the field.
And the thing is, I don't have any... When Susan actually bought me the camera, I was like, please don't let me see across.
Yeah.
I didn't want that. I was a sci-fi guy.
Right.
And I went down there, it's like, son of a gun, I got to restart. Now, I don't know that it's flat. I don't know that. It could be something else, but it's not 25,000 miles around. And
trigonometry.
I got Google Earth, and I can sit there. You can go with me tomorrow. It would be fun to.
Okay. Do you
realize
you get up when I'm going to sleep?
Well, nothing.
Yeah.
But no one has ever done. I've always said, just come watch.
So you're
show
saying,
me, and no one ever does.
So in other words, your camera is so powerful that you're able to see a boat over there by Ingleside.
Yeah.
And if we follow the law of physics and trigonometry, you there with your elbows on the ground, a balanced, level spot. You take a picture, you're looking through the eye finder, and you are there on Ocean,
right,
34 miles away from Ingleside. You snap a photo, you're not just seeing the top of the mast, which is what
the holes.
You're seeing the whole boat.
Yeah.
And technically through trigonometry and through math and science, it should be where it's like looking at a football field. If you stand on the sidelines of an NFL football field and you lay on your stomach, you will see the top of the head of the opposing team on the other sideline. You won't see their whole body.
You know what's weird? It wasn't so much seeing, because I went there, I didn't know what I was going to see.
Right.
I was watching videos. I was like, well, I'm going to prove this wrong. That's what happened.
Right.
So I go and I put the camera on, and I was like, that wasn't even the biggest surprise. It was how everyone went, how dare you? No.
Yeah.
You
because you are going against everything that we've been taught since day one.
I didn't expect it.
But what about Doug and Bob? When we watch them go up into space, we see the camera is attached to the ship. They go
How many cutaways were there?
That's where the conspiracy kicks in.
Well, I mean, but why can't they just do one camera?
Because you're a director and one shot is boring. As a former floor director, I'm over here going.
Do one boring shot and three good ones. Just one that you have.
So we have the camera angle from space. I'm looking at Earth and it's curved like a mother.
Yeah. For what are you looking from?
I'm looking at the ISS. From the ISS.
Why don't they ever take a selfie, a live feed? They're only 250 miles away. We're closer to the ISS than we are to Houston.
Right.
And why don't they ever do that? They go to the cupola. And it's too much of a. I know. Too much for me to
you go down. Okay, let's try another one.
All right.
Okay, because this one does fascinate me, but there's a group of people, and I think you're part of them, and especially because just yesterday Maclovio brought up on how Siberia this past weekend had 100 degrees, 100-degree temperature, which Siberia. I mean, that was the joke in Hogan's Heroes. It was like, if Sergeant Schultz screws up again, they're going to send him to the Russian front over there to Siberia, right? Okay. So now all of a sudden, I've seen your posts and all this, and you and a group of other people talking about it, and I was like, okay, that's above my pay grade. So there's a group of people that say that, there's a reason why nobody goes, there's a part of Earth in the Antarctic that nobody's allowed. Is that the gist?
I mean, yes.
I mean, once again, got to dumb it down for me.
Okay, well, there's a treaty with like roughly 50 countries for the last 60, 70 years. It's the longest standing treaty that you cannot travel to Antarctica. And if you do, you have all these hardships that you can't, if you want to take sled dogs, you can go to jail for 10 years for dropping dung from the dogs and all this stuff. We're not to go there.
Okay.
And the reason is we'll bomb each other and each other's kids to high hell, but we are afraid of hurting penguins. It just doesn't add up, and there's more to it. You can't dumb it down. You can't.
Well, but I mean, what is the gist of this whole Antarctic thing? Why don't they want us to go to Antarctic?
Because it's not what they say. Okay, if you believe in flat Earth, which I don't, I'm not a flat earther. Okay. I just know it's not. You don't know you can't prove what something is. You can just say it's not this. So
what do you think? Earth is like an ellipse?
I don't know. I'm not going to claim to know. Okay. I know I can see way too far.
And so what you are saying though is that the Earth is not round.
It's not as round as they say they are.
Okay, all right. But now back to the Antarctic. Is there an Antarctic?
I mean, how can I answer that other than saying there's got to be something? We're not allowed to go there. And you got to look into Admiral Byrd. You got to go into. I mean, he came back. There's TV clips of him going. There's mountains of coal and all this stuff there, and it turns green once you get in. No one's allowed inside the 60th parallel. And once you get in there, there's supposedly, from the only known person that has been on TV, is like, no, there's like lakes and greenery and all kinds of stuff. And then, of course, he dies in a very mysterious way.
And there's the rub.
He was the Indiana Jones of right after World War II. And he was like, yeah, no, it's great. We need to go down there. You'll see a lot of
So North Pole or South Pole?
There is no South Pole.
There is no South Pole.
It's a plate. Everything away from the North Pole, which is in the middle, is south. Everything is south.
So if we look at Santa's place, he's extreme north, right? Santa,
right.
And so basically, simple math says everything away from that, you're heading south.
Right.
And so you're saying there is no South Pole.
There is no South Pole. There's no magnetic opposite of the north.
Dude, my brain hurts, man. My brain hurts.
The thing is,
that's why I don't even go into the realm with you about 9/11. I don't go into the realm with you about JFK. I don't go in, and I understand it with JFK.
It wouldn't work though. It wouldn't work if I tried to convince you. You have to go yourself.
Do your own.
It doesn't work. I can't convince you. No one could have convinced me.
No, but you could write a report.
I do it all the time.
Yeah, well,
you read them. That's why we're talking about it.
Unbelievable.
It's nuts, and trust me, I've been outcast.
You know how many times you have cramped up my brain unexpectedly while I'm on the toilet? I'm over there just trying to take care of business, and all of a sudden you hear from the other side of the house, what? Because you got all this weird stuff that I'm like, okay,
but
where
it's not really that weird if you just pay attention to it.
And here's where you get your street cred with me, though. You called out Epstein 2 years ago.
You were there. We were
and you were telling. I was like, "Oh, shut up! Cut this man off. He's obviously big time drunk, right?" And that's beside the point. But anyway, you started telling me the story about Epstein, and I'd never heard of Epstein. So right there, I'm already like, okay, if it was such a big deal, I knew who he was. I would have heard of him by now. So I never heard of him. And then you you kept going about this Epstein guy over, for months. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And then you started going deep into the really behind the curtain stuff with Epstein.
It's a dark place.
Like, he's got an island. Oh, shut up. He's got it. What is he, Dr. Evil? And you look at me and go, yeah. And I'm like, oh, stop it. So this is over like a year and a half. And then, of course, the guy gets arrested. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's that.
For the second time.
Yeah, that's that Epstein guy. Yeah, for the second time. And I go, oh, okay. And then all of a sudden I start dropping names. Now, of course, when he dropped Trump's name, now you got my attention. Right. Which you had dropped his name the prior year and a half. And I'm like, well, this is it. And then the guy dies in jail. I'm like, okay, now you have my attention. Right? And that was without your influence of telling me anything more about him. Now I'm on as you said, I'm on my own journey.
Right.
Then the final death nail in the coffin for me, sorry, Dad, was the whole, when I watched the 4-part documentary on Netflix, and I'm watching the actual footage of the stuff you had told me 2 years prior. And I'm like, I guess I kind of need to buy a tray of beer.
Well, you were pretty cool about it too, because you're like, look, I do need to, from here on out, I'm at least going to stand back and wait. I don't know any answers. I don't have any inside scoop. Right. It's just discernment. And go, this doesn't look right, man.
If we get coronavirus, it was Rolando.
Oh, Rolando.
It was Rolando.
What
the hell, dude?
Is a walking coronavirus.
I know, right? Plus, he's drinking a Corona beer on top of it all. Anyway.
But I don't want to convince you of anything.
Why not?
It doesn't
Why
count.
not?
Because that doesn't count.
Well, isn't that what all you and your buddies do anyway? You guys sit around there.
No, we don't.
Around the campfire. You went to a convention, for Pete's sakes.
I didn't go with anything other than I wanted to see who they really were. And
well, no, they loved you. They loved you, dude. You obviously bent some ears over there because they couldn't stop reaching out to you. What the hell, man? You're like McCollum.
I'm not crazy, though. I promise. It's all just flat out.
I am not. You have a warm heart. You have an open heart, meaning me, that is sitting here with open ears going, okay, give me... I'm in a receptive mode. Let me hear what you got. Because
you're a rare bird, then.
Well, but the thing is, understand, though, that the position I'm coming from is that you're going to have to convince me because I think the complete opposite of what you're thinking.
Fair enough.
For instance, 9/11. I'm not a 9/11er where it was a planned thing, but I can't dispute, though, that when I watch the footage and I see that the building's pancake and it looks like a controlled explosion, it's not that I'm going to believe in it. It's just there's a part of me that goes, well, you're going to have to
pay more attention. That's all you do. Just dig a little.
Well, that's why with the whole Bubba Wallace thing. Mm-hmm. Just because the FBI looks at me and says, that's it, it's been there since October of 19, case solved, everybody move along, nothing to see here, boys. I'm over here now going, whoa, wait a minute, you guys are the same guys that I was just being told a few months ago that you guys lie and you guys, I can't trust you and you guys are fake, but now all of a sudden I'm supposed to be believing you hook, line, and sinker. Well, I'm sorry, but I have some questions. And now because I have questions, the people where the questions don't fit their agenda, now all of a sudden they're like, why are you questioning the FBI?
Yeah, be careful with that, man.
Yeah, they're like, why
suddenly you're the
I'm the
crazy
person. No, I'm the ass in the room now, right?
The main thing is to remember that most people that ask hard questions want the narrative to be true. That's important to know. I don't want the earth to be flat. Screw me all up. I don't want 9/11 to be an inside job. I don't want those. I want to be the wrongest a-hole there is.
Well, for instance, like the Vietnam War. Right?
Gulf of Tonkin, really?
Right. I mean, okay, but then, so, I'm raised to believe the Vietnam War a certain way. And I do my entire life until all of a sudden they released we see what the Pentagon Papers were really about. And then
Didn't it break your heart?
And then we find out that the bastard goes on his deathbed and admits everything is true. That everybody was questioning, where he had gone for his entire adult life saying, those are lies, these are people that are anti-American, they're anti-war, the whole bit. And then he's on his deathbed, and that's when he decides to have his mea culpa and go, yeah, I did all those things.
And it breaks your heart.
And you're like, son of a, so I'm the fool, right?
None of us want to be fools. And so we hang on to these things.
Yeah. And record
then,
it?
So you have and then talk about it because it's too much.
Yeah,
sound like a
listenership.
Well, that's my
I had them
spiel.
with the conspiracy, and then we started doing karaoke night at Bubba's.
That's my, there's too much to, what we ought to do is have a beer and then go.
And
record
then,
it? So you have and then talk about it because it's too much.
Yeah,
sound like a,
dude, that's not
like
one beer.
Person.
That's not even a case of beer. That's like a I don't know, a month.
Well, if it takes me a month to get to a certain place by myself,
Party 01,
then how am I going to convince someone else to, in 2 minutes to go, oh, okay, so this the whole thing would be.
Because you're a smart individual, and that's the task at hand, all right?
Hey.
You're the one who brought it up, as far as your whole life, you've been doing this, or how.
You know what you're doing? You're letting me have a voice.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you've done the same with my wife and all that stuff. And even
how is the wife doing?
She's awesome, man. She's
great. Did she tell the county to get bent? I would have.
I'm going to. We're going to have our own conversation.
We
had our first one.
How many conversations are we having off the air?
The last time I was getting ready to go on your show, you were like, "You don't want to say that, dude."
No. Teenagers.
The last time I was going to
come
on, you were like, "What do you want to talk about?" It's like, "I'm going to talk about everything." You're like, "Come over here, dude."
Yeah. Let's not.
No, you're not.
Okay, there's certain things you don't talk about.
Yeah.
To do off mic, but I just want to see how Susan's doing.
She's doing great. She told me to tell you hello. She was texting while I was over here. So
okay.
Well, dude, thanks for as always, man.
Give her a big hug.
Christine and you are the first two people in this area that I met when I came down here, and it's awesome to have kept y'all as friends and such. So
mi casa su casa.
Game on, man.
All right. Let's take a pause for the cause. Halftime report with Pudge. Be back right after this.